Donald Trump waited until the markets closed to hold a disastrous press conference where he reiterated that he will be imposing across-the-board tariffs on automobiles and pharmaceuticals. As Donald Trump was saying that in real time, the futures market was crashing. This after the market had already crashed once again on Wednesday. Here's Donald Trump talking about the tariffs he's imposing on automobiles. Play this clip.
And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at. And we go to 25%. And basically, as you know, and as you've been seeing, not reporting as accurately as it should be reported because it's a massive story. Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs.
Donald Trump just held a press conference that sent the market into an absolute freefall. Tariffs, reckless policies, and outright denial of reality. This is what we're dealing with. As investors watch their portfolios tank in real time, Trump stood there, acting like it was no big deal. His economic decisions are leading the country down a dangerous path, and the results are clear. We're going to break down the insanity of this moment, from his disastrous decisions to his complete disregard for the truth. Let's dive in.
I think,
this will absolutely obliterate the automobile industry, as well as all of these suppliers and distributors and people who are in that supply chain. Again, that has sent the market absolutely in a spiral. Donald Trump is then asked about the Nasdaq down 2%, the S&P down 1%, and Trump's like, what? That's happened today? Here, play this clip.
And on these auto tariffs, we saw obviously the Nasdaq 100 go down 2% at close, S&P 500 down 1%. What are you concerned about that market reaction?
Today?
Yes, sir.
I didn't say that. I want to see the jobs. I want to see that'll all take care of itself. That could take care of itself in 1 day, 2 days, or 1 week.
Yeah, maybe you need to pay attention to what's actually going on in the country as you continue to destroy people's 401ks, retirements, life savings, as you and Elon Musk take a wrecking ball to our economy each and every day. Donald Trump is asked if these auto tariffs are going to be permanent. He says, yep, 100%. Play this clip.
Conditions under which you'd remove these auto tariffs, sir, or is this permanent for the rest of your term in office?
Oh, this is permanent, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Then Donald Trump is asked about Signalgate, whereby the top Department of Defense officials, the highest level Pete Hegseth, as well as the National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and about a dozen or so other people were sharing war plans in a group text message thread that should have been in a sensitive compartmented information facility. In other words, what should be clear violations of the Espionage Act. And here Donald Trump's like, why are we getting mad at Hegseth? He didn't have anything to do with this. Here, play this clip.
Mike did. He took responsibility for it.
Should his position over this?
Say it.
Should Secretary Hegseth consider his position over the signal?
Hegseth is doing a great job. He had nothing to do with this. Hegseth. How do you bring Hegseth into it? He had nothing to do. Look, it's all a witch hunt.
Hegseth is literally one of the people in the text thread where they invited the reporter, the editor-in-chief from Atlantic, where they're sharing actual war plans. And don't give me the BS that they didn't share war plans. I see it right here from Pete Hegseth in the text chain. Time now, 11:44 Eastern Time. Weather is favorable. Just confirmed with CENTCOM. We are a go for the mission launch. That means they're talking about sources and methods and a mission. That is a war plan. 12:15 Eastern Time. F-18s launch. First strike package. 13:45. Trigger-based F-18s first strike window starts. Target terrorist is at his known location, so should be on time. Also, strike Jones. It goes through the hour-by-hour launch plan, war plan. So don't give me, what were they talking about? Then Donald Trump says we're going to do the tariffs on pharmaceuticals. So in other words, all of your medication, the price of it is about to absolutely skyrocket. Here, play this clip.
It's also exciting because of what's happening with other aspects. We're going to be doing tariffs on pharmaceuticals in order to bring our pharmaceutical industry back. We don't make anything here in terms of drugs, medical drugs, different types of drugs that you need, medicines. It's in other countries, largely made in China, a lot of it made in Ireland. Ireland was very smart. We love Ireland. But we're going to have that. We're going to have lumber. We're going to free up some of our land. And you'll be able to meet a lot of other standards like fire cuts. If Los Angeles had fire cuts, which they didn't have, that's a gap of half a football field between areas. You wouldn't have had the fires. They would have been contained. But you have fire cuts. And by the way, you sell that wood for a lot of money, a lot of profit.
This is Trump's signature move. Wreck the economy and pretend it'll fix itself. People's savings are vanishing. 401ks are tanking. And his response? That'll all take care of itself. That's not leadership. That's a delusional fantasy. We've seen this time and time again. Trump claims to fight for the working class, but every policy decision he makes hurts them. The market's crashing while he brushes it off like it's no big deal. This is a man who doesn't understand or care about the consequences of his reckless decisions. Let's be clear. Trump doesn't care about the economic damage he's causing, not one bit.
So I guess by Donald Trump saying that he promises to make medication more affordable, which former President Biden was actually doing, Donald Trump meant, surprise, surprise, the opposite, because he is a liar. And now the cost of your medication, if they haven't already started to spike, and I'm sure they already have, is about to go through the roof and become almost totally unaffordable as a result of the Trump regime. So what is Donald Trump also talking about is he's destroying the economy and putting all of our lives in danger and making medication harder to afford. He goes, there's something we got to talk about. It's the whales. These whales are loco. These whales are loco. Here, play this clip.
Something happened out there. There's something driving the whales a little bit loco, but they lost 2 in 20 years. And now they lost 17 in a short period of time. So it's
Donald Trump is then asked if he still believes that nothing classified was shared. And Donald Trump said, I don't know. It's what I heard. I don't know. What am I, like the president or something? Like, I don't know. Here, play this clip.
But I don't think they're quite. I don't think they're quite.
Nothing classified that was shared?
Say it.
Do you still believe nothing classified was shared?
Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask the various people involved. I really don't know.
Donald Trump is then asked if he was briefed about the 4 American soldiers who died in Lithuania. This is what Donald Trump's response is.
But it could be a defective platform, and we're going to have to find that out.
Mr. President, have you been briefed about soldiers in Lithuania?
Say it.
Have you been briefed about the soldiers in Lithuania who are missing?
No, I haven't.
You haven't been briefed about that? You want me to brief you about it, idiot? You want me to brief you about it? 4 American soldiers who went missing in Lithuania have died, NATO leader says. What are you doing in your day that you're not briefed on that? NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said Wednesday that 4 U.S. soldiers who went missing while training in Lithuania have died, but that he did not yet have the details. A U.S. official would say only that the 4 soldiers were involved in a training accident. The official, who spoke on a condition of anonymity, would not comment on the status of the soldiers. Rutte said during a trip to Warsaw that he had received word of the deaths of the 4 soldiers and that his thoughts were with their families and with the United States. You know, no one told you that, Donald? No one explained that to you? What, were you too busy pressing your stupid Coca-Cola button? Were you too busy talking to Elon Musk about taking away people's Social Security and Medicaid and firing veterans and kidnapping people and sending them to concentration camps in El Salvador, that you're not getting briefed on basic issues of national security and our brave soldiers dying? Are you that big of a freaking traitor? We know you are. By the way, while all of this is going on, you have literally on CNBC at the same time, they're like, oh my God, the markets are literally tanking right now while Donald Trump is holding that whatever press conference in the Oval Office. Play this clip.
Driving the auto industry into a recession. GM shares are down 5%. We were sitting around the desk looking at the declines in the automakers as President Trump was speaking.
Well, it's been a difficult run already for the automakers, and we have heard about sensitivity on higher prices. And again, if you're talking about $4,000 on a crossover, and they're saying three times that in terms of EVs.
Donald Trump then comments to a reporter wearing a mask, and he's like, wow, I haven't seen a mask like that in a very long time. Here, play this clip.
If you want to return education control to the states, how would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policy?
You know, I haven't seen a mask in so long. You're wearing a mask. So nice of you. I haven't seen anybody wearing a mask in a long time. It's good. You feel more comfortable, right? Good. That's good. So go ahead.
You said you want to return.
Donald Trump is then asked if he thinks the tariffs on automobiles are going to be good for Tesla. And Trump, well, first off, calls it Tesla and then gives an incoherent response about he has a fantastic Tesla. Who's he? What are you even talking about? Play this clip.
Tariffs are going to be good for Tesla, sir?
Good for who?
Tesla, which makes it good.
Well, he is a fantastic Tesla. Will tariffs be good? I think they may, it could be a net neutral or they may be good. He has a big plant in Texas. He has a big plant in California. And anybody that has plants in the United States, it's going to be good for, in my opinion.
Donald Trump then says he may help out China, though. He may give China a deal on tariffs because he wants to get a TikTok deal done. So he may help Canada. I mean, he may help China. So he's going to attack Canada, attack Mexico, attack Europe, but he may help China because he wants to get a TikTok deal done. Here, play this clip.
China is going to have to play a role in that, possibly, in the form of an approval, maybe. And I think they'll do that. Maybe I'll give them a little reduction in tariffs or something to get it done, you know, because every point in tariff is worth more money than TikTok. If you think every point, tariff is a much bigger world and TikTok is big, but every point in tariffs is worth more than TikTok. So in order to get China to do, maybe I'd give them a reduction in tariffs as an example. Sounds like something I'd do.
Wait, what? Tariffs are destroying the market, but Trump's willing to cut a deal with China for TikTok? So much for America first. While he's slapping a 25% tariff on U.S. automakers, he's willing to reduce tariffs for China just to get a deal done. Make it make sense. This isn't strategy, it's chaos. It's clear that Trump's only looking out for his own interests, making backdoor deals that hurt American workers while benefiting foreign powers. This isn't about America's future. It's about personal leverage and distracting from his failures.
Then Donald Trump continues to talk about Signalgate, the text messages, war plans, with a reporter on the text thread of classified information. By the way, while it appears that one of the Trump administration officials was in Moscow, and Trump's like, it's all a big witch hunt. I think it's a witch hunt. I wasn't involved with the witch hunt. Play this clip.
Anything. He's never asked me for anything.
Sir, also, what's your response to Republican lawmakers who have said today that your administration should take more accountability and not downplay what's happened with Signal that we've seen in these messages today?
Well, I don't know about downplaying. The press upplays it. I think it's all a witch hunt. That's all. I think it's a witch hunt. I wasn't involved with it. I wasn't there, but.
A witch hunt of what, you idiot? What witch hunt is it? The witch hunt whereby your national security Mike Waltz invites a reporter from the Atlantic who you all claim is a Trump-hating reporter. You all say this guy's the worst. You invite him onto your chat thread, and then you start talking about war plans. And what's the witch hunt there? I mean, again, if you, I don't care what political party you're from, that is stupidly dangerous when you just heard what he said. Like, do you listen to that and go, does he think I'm dumb? He does, because he thinks everyone has MAGA mush brain, and they go, I guess witch hunt, witch hunt, witch hunt, witch hunt. Dear leader says witch hunt. Nah, it's stupid. You're a stupid person, Donald. You're a stupid person, and you're a dangerous person is who you are. It's not a witch hunt. You're giving our classified information out on freaking Signal chats, you idiot. And then Donald Trump starts talking about coal mines. Coal's going to give you tremendous power. Coal this, coal, clean coal. What the hell are you even talking about? Play this clip.
And they're using coal, which is very powerful. Coal is a very powerful energy. And we're opening up our coal mines again, and we're going to do, I call it beautiful, clean coal. The technology is so good now that coal can give you tremendous power. At the same time, it can be very clean. But we're also obviously doing oil and gas and various other things. You can do pretty much whatever you want. We don't like the wind because we think it ruins the landscapes, the plains, ruins them.
By the way, while all of this was going down, we were learning as well that the GDP Now model, nowcast of real GDP growth in Q1 2025 is negative 1.8%. An alternative model forecast, which adjusts for imports and exports of gold, is about 0.2%. In the fourth quarter of 2024 under former President Biden, the U.S. economy grew at an annualized rate of 2.3%. And remember, I told you about the Atlanta Fed, which predicted a GDP contraction of about 3%, negative 3%. So whether it's now negative 1.8% or negative 3%, we are heading into, because of Trump's idiocy and greed and just all around incompetence and this hostile takeover of our federal government, a great recession, if not a depression, is where things are headed right now, with stagflation, which is GDP contraction while inflation rises. And then Donald Trump gives these stupid, awful, disastrous press conferences in the Oval Office.
Absolutely disgraceful. This is the commander-in-chief we're talking about, completely out of touch with national security and the realities of the world. The market is crashing, soldiers are dying, and Trump can't even be bothered to stay informed on these crucial issues. He's fumbling through every crisis as if he's not responsible for the state of the country. So there you have it. Trump's chaotic press conference is a glimpse into the mess he's leaving behind. Markets tanking, policies failing, and a complete lack of accountability. If this is the leadership we're stuck with, then we're in for a long, bumpy ride. But hey, you can't look away from a train wreck. And trust me, this one's just getting started. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want more updates on this ongoing disaster. Stay informed, stay sharp, and I'll catch you in the next one.